most of you don't understand Pali, but before the beginning of the talk, I just gave it in Pali to make it apparent to you that this is not my teaching, but Lord Buddha's teaching that I'm bringing you. So last time I talked to you was in January. So I have been talking for the past 4-5 months on Sunday evenings, yes? So probably if I'm going to talk again, I will see you next year, November, if we count the BSV calendar. No, I'll be coming next month. So we are going through a very important period of our life, maybe the time, you know. So in another 15 days time, you will get another 365 days again. You call it a new year. Then you will go through the same thing again and again, same happy birthdays, same New Year resolutions, same wedding anniversaries, graduation anniversaries. So you do things again and again. So don't you think it's a bit like samsara itself, yes? So I'm not asking anybody not to celebrate birthdays or do things like that. But Buddha told, he gave Dhamma to go out of that repetitive way, you know, doing something again and again. So far we have done many things again and again. There's a saying that there's this famous monk in Sri Lanka now. He told, like in samsara, forget about the time that we have been born as animals, but forget about the times that we have been born as an animal, but imagine the times that we have been born as a human being. So the times that we have gone through kings, queens, and tasted everything in this world, but so far we have not been able to taste the thing called realization. So it's very important. We use this time, this human life, to realize something and get out of this repetitive thing. So when we talk about again and again, when Buddha was alive, this comes in Anguttara Nikaya, I believe, in Brahmana Vagga. Buddha goes to this particular house for dana. The house owner was a Brahmin called Udaya. So first day he goes and Udaya gives the Bhante, Lord Buddha, ample food. The second day also he goes to the same house. And on the third day, Udaya was not happy, you know, obviously same person coming again and again to your house. Anybody might have comments. So he told Bhante, I've been giving you food for the past 2 days. Now you are here for the third day. I believe you are coming again and again because you are greedy, you know. So Buddha, he never had that kind of a greed. Buddha would not have gone there 3 times without a reason. So Buddha said, you listen to me, Udaya. Again and again is not this. Again and again is this. Farmers cultivate again and again. Rain falls again and again. There will be, because of this rain falling, there will be grain again and again. Beggars will beg again and again. Rich will give dana and go to heaven again and again. The people will cow milk again and again. And also the calf will come to the mother again and again. And the foolish will, the men will faint again and again, suffer again and again. A foolish will come to a womb again and again. Because of that, they will be born again and again. Because of that, they will die again and again. Because of that, they will go to the cemetery again and again. But the wise person will not be born again and again. Then Udai was like, oh, Bhante, again and again, something like that. So this is again and again. You know, we have to look at things when we are doing again and again, whether this is worth it. So my teaching comes from a sutta that comes in Anguttara Nikaya, the books of Force, Catuka Nipata Pali. Buddha says, I see 4 kinds of mice in this world. Yesterday I was looking for the plural of mouse. Yes? What is the plural of mouse? Mice, yes. But when it comes to computer mouse, they say it's mouses. You know, because it's a this is on the internet. Yeah, because I think it's not a living thing. So the plural of computer mouses is mouses, but the living mouse is mice. So what are the 4 types? Black ones, the white ones. So the Buddha never used examples when he never gave an example through. Hardly Buddha was more wise enough to understand a certain characteristic and amazing ability to take natural things as examples. So the first type of mice Buddha say I see in this world is, there are certain mice who will dig holes, burrow holes, but they will not live inside them. And the second type of mice, they will burrow holes, and they will not burrow holes, but still they will not live also. There are certain type of mice, they don't burrow holes, but they live in them. And what is the 4th type now? I just want to know whether you understand this. It's just the algorithm, yeah? They will not do either. Either they will do both. Either they will dig and not live, and live and not, but live but not dig. Okay? So these 4 types. So the same way, Buddha is saying, I can relate these 4 mice to 4 types of beings in our world. The first one is those people who dig holes but don't live in them are like people who learn Dhamma very much. Okay? Yes. So, so what's the first type of mice?
Dig holes, don't live there. Dig holes but don't live there.
Yeah, they study. Buddha says they study Dhamma so much, but they never understand, they realize that as it is. And the second type of people are, they don't study Dhamma, but ultimately they will realize. The third type, they will not learn and not realize. And the 4th one, they will study, and then this is a phenomena. Yes, so where do we, all of us belong to? Individually you think, okay, I don't want the answer. Yeah. You can think for yourself and see where do we belong. We study Dhamma, but we don't realize that it is. I'm partly here to make a contribution to that. So when Buddha says learning Dhamma, Buddha says a person would not realize the truth of suffering as it is, the cause for suffering as it is, the way out of suffering as it is, the path to the cessation of suffering as it is. What do you call these 4? 4 noble truths. Yes. When Buddha said studying about Dhamma, we all know that there is Tipitaka. What we call the Tipitaka? The 3 baskets or the canon. But during Buddha's time, it was not classified as this. It's called the Navanga Sastu Sasana. It's called 9-fold classification of Lord Buddha. Dhamma is divided into 9. So the 9, the way they did during the first council was, the Buddha never taught Dhamma like this, but it got written down like this. There are 9 things in Dhamma, 9-fold classification. The first one is sutras. You know what sutras are? Yes, the complete teachings of the Buddha. Give me a few examples. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, as it comes. And even the Vinaya books are sutras. And the second one is Geya. Geya means, sorry, my teaching is a bit detailed and a bit traditional. I don't come up with current affairs, things that you can Google. I give things there for your inner Google, you know. So these can be helped in learning Dhamma and getting out of, so you can Google your insight, but I will not come up with topics that you can Google and find it somewhere else. So what is Geya? Geya is any Dhamma that has stanzas, poems, gathas, verses in it. Especially the first book of Samyutta Nikaya, it's called Sagata Vagga Pali, Sagata Sutta. This is a classic example. Then Vaiyakarana. Vaiyakarana is expositions. When you say expositions, where is Dhamma explained well? I'll give the first letter A. Abhidhamma. Yes, okay. So we don't use that part much. Yes, Abhidhamma. Then Udana. What is Udana? Sorry? Udana is any saying with happiness. Any inspirational sayings. It comes in especially the Kuddaka Nipata. And Gatha. Gatha is very easy. Yes, Gatha is pure stanzas. Where do you see pure stanzas in the Tipitaka? The Theragatha, Therigatha, the poems by monks, poems by nuns. And what is the famous book we have? The Dhammapada. Yes, then Udana. Udana, Itivuttaka. Itivuttaka means, usually how does a sutra start? Evang me sutang ekam. But thus I have heard. But there are certain types of sutta. Buddha doesn't start. During the first council, monk said, thus was said by the Buddha. Ittang utang. There's the term is like Uttang hitam bhagavata, said by the Lord Buddha. This type of sutras go into Itivuttaka. And Jataka. What are Jatakas? The previous birth stories of the Buddha. How many altogether? 5?
555.
555. Okay, good. Then this is a common argument, when you ask how many Jatakas are there. Some people say 555, some people say 550. To be exact, it's 547. Okay? So there are 540. You are a bit 8 more. Maybe adding your personal lives into that. Okay. Then Adbhuta Dhamma. Okay, the Adbhuta Dhamma is marvelous accounts. Have you gone through the Paharada Sutta where there are Buddhist suttas where they say Accharyang Adbhuta, marvelous accounts. And Vedalla. Vedalla are very famous, very deep suttas where Buddha answers and questions with inspiration and wisdom. These are the 9 limbs, 9-fold classification of Dhamma. When Buddha was alive, he never preached Dhamma like this, but it got classified like this during the first council. So we know there is Tripitaka. Within Tripitaka, these 9-fold classifications are there. If somebody is studying Dhamma, they need to cover. There are no loopholes if they have studied all these 9 sections of Dhamma. So in the sutta, when Buddha is saying, why out of all examples, why Buddha took the mice as an example, a mouse digging holes. Why does a mouse dig a hole? What is he creating there? A house, safety, refuge. So that's why Buddha says when a mouse is doing that, when he's not living there, ultimately he's not finding refuge, he's not finding safety, he's not finding any meaning in that. So I think this is why Buddha used this example of a mouse. So the particular word, when it comes to Four Noble Truths, he is using so idang dukkhanti yata bhuta na pajanati. When you say na, what does it mean? Na is similar to in English what? No. Pajanati means they will not understand, and yata bhuta means they will not, even if they study Dhamma, they will not understand Dhamma as it is. Okay? Now what is as it is? What is yata bhuta? Let's take suffering. Do you all know suffering as it is? Are you aware that you are suffering right now? How do you know? Because you cannot stay still. Yes? And you will go through feelings, oh, what is this? He's just talking, this and that. I'm hungry. I need to go to the bathroom. I have work tomorrow. I have a Christmas party coming. This is all nature of suffering, you know. This is yatha bhuta, means another term, getting dispassionate about life with understanding. This is also another meaning of yatha bhuta, getting to know the Four Noble Truths as it is. Can you remember a place where Buddha said, yatha bhutam pajanati? I understood the Four Noble Truths as it is. Can you remember?
Where is it then? It's just been there.
You have been there, yes, very good.
It's the deer park.
The deer park, yes, she remembers. Wow.
I was just there 3 days ago.
3 days ago, when I thought where you were there, I thought you had been there during like Buddha's time, and you didn't do your thing, now you are here. Okay. So what is the set of words that he is using? Imesu chatusu ariya sachesu evang tiparivattam dvadasakarang yatha bhutang jnanadasanang suvisuddhang ahosi. Until I realize the Four Noble Truths as it is in 3 phases and 12 ways. Okay. When you are given 3 and 4 to take 12, what do you have to do? Multiply. That much is understandable, yeah? That's mathematics. So I just want to teach you today what is Tiparivattang Dvadasakarang. What does it mean? The 3 phases, 3 rounds, and 12 ways. Okay. Now I have given you 3 and 4. What do you think the 4 is? When Buddha says, I have realized the Four Noble Truths as it is, in 3 phases and 12 ways, I never declared my realization to the universe. This is the exact translation. So, let's study the 3, but 4 you already know. What are the 4? The Noble Truth of suffering, the Noble Truth of cause for suffering, the way cessation of suffering, the path, eightfold path, to go out of suffering. Yes? So now this is the 4 he realized in 3 phases. The first phase is called Satya Jnana, the knowledge of realization or knowledge of insight. During this phase, he realized the Four Noble Truths. Again, we don't have to repeat. In this first phase, he realized the Four Noble Truths. In the second phase, he realized it's called Krutya Jnana. Krutya Jnana means the knowledge of knowing what to do. So when it comes to suffering, what is the thing that we should do? The particular words used in Dhammacakka sermon is Parinyayanti, Pahatabbanti, Sachikatabbanti, Bhave Tabbanti. What does it mean? Parinyayanti. What is the first noble truth now? The suffering. So when it comes to suffering, what is the thing that you need to do about this suffering? Sorry. You have to understand it, clearly penetrate into it. When it comes to the cause of suffering, what is the thing that you need to do about it? Sorry? See, that's what they say, you are not doing anything about it. That's why you get lost. All this time you have been listening to Dhamma, you know there is suffering, but you just randomly, like mice, just when you ask a particular question in exam, what are you doing about suffering? Yeah? It's a clear answer, you need to abandon it. Okay? And when it comes to the cessation of suffering, what is the thing that you need to do? What is the thing that you need to do? We call it realizing. Yes, the letting go, these are common words, people can come up with terms and, come and say, what you need to find happiness to let go of, you need to let go, you need to get out of the house and job, and that part has been already done by Buddha, So he gave the way. If somebody can understand, and if you can work with the situation that you are in, you can come to a realization all these things are in your mind. That's why Buddha start the Dhammapada with the mind, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. If you grasp all the things, all the five senses, they bypass the one thing called what? The mind. There's a sense door, there's a mind door. All sense door also pass through the mind. If you can grasp this mind properly, you can get rid of suffering. So when it comes to cessation of suffering, it should be realized. A cessation, this way out of suffering should be realized. And when it comes to the path, what is our responsibility? Practice, yes. Can we come up with a path?
We get to walk it.
You get to walk it, to develop it. Yes, the word bhave tabbansi in the Sri Lankan slide, bhavita means to use it, to develop it, things like that. Now this is the second phase. The first phase was the knowledge of realization. The second phase was knowledge of what to do. And the third phase is knowledge. How to do it is within the second phase. You need to expand this Dhamma and see what are we going to do. Even within the Four Noble Truths itself, you can find the way out by the Eightfold Noble Path. The third phase is known as, now I said in Pali, Satya Jnana, Krutya Jnana, Kruta Jnana. Kruta Jnana is the knowledge of completion. So he also came to a realization that I have realized these Four Noble Truths. Now, a lot of people say, especially in a meditative environment, when you get close enough with them, they open up to you, especially your students. Then they come and whisper into your, Bhante, I think I have realized Sotapanna, Okay, then how have you realized that? Please explain. At that time, I'm not sure, but I think, like that. But Buddha, in his third phase, he knew that he realized. He had a confirmation. So he did, the noble truth of suffering has been fully understood. Parinyanti. The noble truth of origin of suffering has been abandoned. Pahinanti. The noble truth of cessation of suffering has been realized. Satchikatanti. The noble truth of path leading to cessation of truth has been developed. Bhavitanti. Okay. So the third phase is coming to a confirmation. That is very important. Now end of year. As I said, another 15 days you will get another 365 days. Believe it or not, within this year itself you have slept for 125 days. Do your calculation. Deduct 24 into 8, 16 into 12 into 13. You have slept for 125 days, those who are sleeping for 8 hours. Just forget about 125. Let's think it's 90 days. You have slept for 3 months. Haven't you? Yes. Yeah, no, you do use your iPhone and calculate. And you say, I have 365 days to realize, 365 days to do the same thing again. Okay, sleeping you can do again and again for another 3 months, next year also. That's why Buddha used Jagarayana Yoga. Be vigilant, be awake. Life is short. While you are living, parties are important, 31st nights are important. No, I don't know, for me it's not important, just, But when you are doing the same thing again, please, because human life is short, we sleep a lot. I think I saw recently the university, the academics, they have done calculations. If you live 90 years, it will add up only to 50. I did my calculations. It's easy, to calculate these things. If you live up to 80, only you have lived for 30 something years, 30, 39, 40 years. I'm already dead, So because at the time you are sleeping. Sleep is very important. Nobody is saying, Buddha never said not to sleep. But he said maximum time when you are sleeping even, try to be attentive. So in Dhamma it is explained there are 3 characteristics. There are all together 16 characteristics to Four Noble Truths. When I was sitting down with the Dalai Lama's teaching, I was sitting just in front of him. Next one was Ajahn Pavaro, the third one was Ajahn Achalo. So His Holiness was asking, what is the characteristic of suffering? Then I forgot, no? Who would think that he would ask me a question? Then I looked at Ajahn Achalo. He said, no, we don't know, sorry. It's recorded, it's available online, that we don't know how to answer these questions. But I knew it was in Dhamma. So I thought of coming, I had in a manual. So I thought of I should write this to Ajahn Achalo and let him know also that it's available in Dhamma. So I said, we don't know. Then luckily His Holiness also didn't know. So that's why he was asking me, and the teaching assistant also didn't know. So what are the 4 characteristics of suffering? There are many translations, there are many ways of interpreting. They say dukkha dukkha, viparinama dukkha, like that. To understand suffering as it is, this amount is enough if you just pay attention to it. The first one is Pilanatto. Pilanatto means, what does it mean? Pilanatto means the oppressing nature of life. We are constantly being abused. Are we not feeling like getting abused? By sickness, by our postures, things that we eat. If something goes wrong, you get gastritis, isn't it, these days? So we are constantly being oppressed. And Sankhatattva means you need a combination of causes for suffering to arise. And Santapatattva means we are continuously suffering. We are continuously suffering. Can we realize that? No, we don't, because we are always trying to go against it. When we are cold, we put a jacket on, we are not suffering. We have ways to find out, temporarily we have ways to cover that up, like makeup. Yes, ma'am. Third one is Santapa. First one is Pilanatta. Second one is Sankatatta. Third one is Santapa. The fourth one is Viparinama. Viparinama is constantly changing. Now please, it is said in existence, our life is burdened by Sankata in the beginning, Santapa in the middle, and Viparinama in the end. Now people want to go to Brahma world and Deva world. So Buddha is explaining the nature of suffering in these worlds. When you say if you want to go to Brahma world, it's a relatively worry-free place. How does the Brahma world is burdened by Sankata? Now what is Sankata? Needs a combination of causes to arise. Now if you want to go to Brahma world, what are you going to do now? Do you think you can directly go there given by dana? By puja? By katina puja? You cannot go there, no? So what is the quality that you need to have, if you want to go to, if you are aiming the highest place within existence, within the 31 planes of existence, Brahma world is the relatively worry-free place. So at least those who people are thinking, okay, I have been studying, a degree, I have been studying all this to find a happy place in my life, in this life as well. If you are thinking about your next life, somebody might be programming, why not I go to Brahma world, because realization is a bit difficult. So how can, the Buddha is the only teacher who showed these places and who also technically gave the way to those, he gave the route to those places also. For a person to go into a Brahma world, you have to develop jhanas, Brahma Vihara, jhanas. Do you think attaining Brahma Viharas is easy? Do you think it is attainable when you are living a lay life? Okay, you can attain 1-2 seconds, you go into jhana, you might find that happiness. But still to maintain, to seduce a jhana, you need to go into a forest, do austere practices, live with 1 meal a day, way out of your, without your relatives, girlfriends, boyfriends. Don't you think it's suffering? To go into that level, don't you think you have to suffer now? Yes, there's an amount of suffering in that. So this is called the sankata nature of suffering to relatively achieve a higher happiness, a higher level of worry-free status. Then what is the nature of continuously burning nature of Brahma world? Okay, let's say you did your penance and you did your, you left everything, you become a monk. Even as a monk, you didn't get stuck up with work. Ideally, you were ending at a forest monastery with no teaching, no nothing, and you are doing your thing. Then you go there. Then what's the problem when you went there? When you go there? Changing. Viparinama is changing. It comes. That's another, Brahmas also don't like change, They live for so many years. Because Brahma, not like any, they come down very, the more higher you go, the fall will be, yes. Because Brahma world also, they have the ego. As long as you are existing, there is an ego that I am a Brahma. It is said in Dhamma, even a Brahma has 10 kinds of kilesas. Because of these 10 kinds of kilesas, he is continuously suffering in that nature. But is he going to be there forever? Brahma is also going to change. So at the end, it's burdened by viparinama. Okay, now the second level of existence, the Deva world. What do you need to do to go to Deva world? You are doing it right to a certain extent. Generosity is one element, one ingredient in that. Precepts. Yes. So do you know now who's going to Deva world? Yeah, Brahma world is out maybe. Yeah. Now we have come down to the precepts and dana and sila. Bhavana totally out. So now you go there. Now giving dana. Do you think it's every Sunday dana that is going to take you there? No. If you do it in a good way, yes. But most people don't give dana with precepts intact. Yes, in Janusoni Petadana Sutta, Buddha explains, dear monks, there are people who give dana without the precepts, having the 8 precepts, because he divided that into the speech part, divided gossip, backbiting words, altogether 8. So what happens to them? They are born again as, now those people who give dana without precepts, in Janusoni Petadana, please refer this, they will go and be born as in good places like horses. Okay? Australia, we have a lot of horses, yes. And they are they be born as elephants. Obviously, yeah, they are well taken care of elephants in Sri Lanka. Elephants are, and they are being born as dogs. Good dogs are there, yeah. So Australia, I think, fits into this category very well. We have good horses, good dogs, no elephants. And the fourth one, what do you think the other animal is? Just imagine. Cow? Yes. Obviously, cows, yes. So these 4 categories, now you can plan ahead your future beautifully through Dhamma. Yes. So please, every day you come and learn because of these things. Buddha gives this teaching because of a reason. Now you can think, where am I going to go? What I have been doing, repeating again and again. So to go to heaven, you have to give dana. Not only that, you have to give dana, you have to do it with much precepts, restrainment, and it's not an easy thing. Do you think it's an easy thing to keep 5 precepts? No, it's very difficult. Things don't come easy. Forget about precepts. Do you think it's easy to give dana? Okay, you can bring some leftovers and put it on the table. That's easy. Buddha always say, Dhanancha yuddhancha samanamaho. Dana is like it's like a battle. Only few people will win this battle. Giving dana is easy, but even after giving dana, maintaining a happy mind is very difficult. Did I tell you the story of the king who gave away his wife? You remember? Yeah, you remember, yeah? No, Vesantara is too famous for that. This is another the king, not the Vesantara. There was another king, a beggar came to him and asked, please, I'm changing my posture, suffering, no? Yeah. So a beggar came to the king and said, you are the king, can I have your wife? A king can buy any, take many wives. So king, okay, you can have her, to show his ego and So after giving away the wife, this king was not functioning well. So the minister saw this, how king was so unhappy. Then the minister was the bodhisattva at that time, and he thought we will do something, about this because king is not happy. Then what they did was they brought a circus into the kingdom, and the king was there. There was a performer, who swallow swords. You remember the story now? No? Okay. So it was a difficult thing, no? So king was so amazed. Have you seen all these talent shows? Yeah, they do awesome things. So king was like, minister, this is a very difficult thing. How do they do that? And the minister was like, my lord, there are even harder things. Giving something away, but being happy about your giving is way harder than that. So the king realized, yes, he's talking about this, I have given away my wife, this is something more difficult to do. So in that way, yes, giving is also not easy. Even let's say you give everything, again, then to the level of poverty, are you not suffering? Look at Anathapindika. He was poor at the end. Isn't there some suffering in that? Yes. So suffering cannot be escaped, every level there is suffering. Okay, let's say to come back into Manusa world, forget about Deva world. How's Deva world burden in Viparinama? Devas also change, but they will not die. But it is said when Deva is going out of the world, they get very unhappy. So all the Devas come to him and they give advice. What is the advice that Devas usually give to another Deva? They say, okay, now you are going to go away from the Deva world. We wish you that you go and reborn in the human realm. That is the collective wish that they do. So maybe we are here after Deva world, yes? And what are we doing? We are just migrating between these planes up and down, again and again, again and again, again and again. But we don't see this. We don't see this cycle as it is. So that is the problem, yes? So through Dhamma, we need to, yes, we'll come to that. Okay, to become a human being, what do you have to do? Okay, sila out. But still you have to be a good, yes, you have to have a certain amount of virtue and certain amount of generosity. In doing that also there's, definitely you can understand the continuous, no, we cannot understand. Definitely when we are changing, we come into suffering. So no need to talk about human world and the lower realms, we can understand the nature of suffering. Okay, now from the first phase, second phase, third phase into Four Noble Truths, that is the 3 phases and 12 ways of realizing suffering. Now please tell me, what is the message given by this? What is the meaning of my Dhamma talk today? Now businessmen, they take the cash flow and they say where the wrong is. Doctors can see a fever chart and find out what's going on wrong and what might be the type of the disease, and you know what goes wrong in your business, in your life. But have you Have you stopped to think? Do you have a plan way out of this? According to the first phase, do you have a plan to realize the Four Noble Truths? Executed, okay, listening to Dhamma is part of it, but you just think, coming and listening, and on the way I might get there sometime. It will not happen. Dana is there because always Buddhism says Dana Sila Bhavana, Dana Sila Bhavana, Dana Sila Bhavana. So we have that in front of us, but we do that again and again, but it doesn't come like that. Individually, you have to come to a level, you have to identify your situation. I am a mother, I am a businesswoman, I am a housewife. This is my conditioning in my lay life. These are the things, these are the measures that I need to take to find a way out of this. Do you have that blueprint with you? No, there's Bhante Achalo is doing a retreat, okay, it's included. Bhante Dhammajiva will come now next week, it's included. Sunday mornings BSV, Friday evenings maybe Dhammasarana, I don't know. But you don't come and sit and think about from the level of defilements. Do you sit down and think, okay, my problem is raga, my problem is dosa, I'm more of a lustful person, I'm more of a hateful person. Oh, I'm so dumb, I don't know anything about anything, ignorant about a lot of things. Ignorance is the cause for everything, But we don't sit down and think like that. From there onwards, we don't take plans. Okay, how stingy I am, I need to do something about this. How lustful I am, I need to do some, particularly get out of this pattern. We don't have a plan like this. But do you have an investment plan? Do you have a superannuation plan? Yes. You have a funeral plan even. But you don't have a plan beyond that. So it's very important. When Buddha is giving teachings, he gives very structure by structure. He never says realization is a straightforward thing. He gives teachings where realization is very straightforward, direct realization. But again and again he explains, because this is a bit of a hard thing to do, my Dhamma is gradual, step by step, like the sloping down of a beach, to in the sea. So it's very important that you come to listen to Dhamma. Not only Dhamma, you have to always keep in front of you why I am doing this, what is the purpose of this, or maybe I give some dana, I did some wholesome deed. Can you remember what you had for a lunch 3 days ago? Then what do you think that this dana will be remembered at the time of your death? With all the pain? So no. So that's why Buddha says continuously, unless you keep a kusala chitta, the failure rates are more. Because when you are about to die, this dana, these things will not be in your head. But for those people who did this right, it will be there, because there is anything else to relate. If I am going to die at some point, if I am going to be a monk all my life, I don't have anything to relate other than my virtue. I don't have anything to relate other than the good things that I have done. But if I have done something wrong within my robes, then that comes to my mind, because I am guilty. I have been thinking about it, so there is no escape. So live a life. Continuously you do something good. Buddha says the word upaya kosala jnana. Be skillful in doing good every time. Use every opportunity to do something good. There won't be a time that you will not have unwholesome thoughts. Otherwise, the moment you go out of mindfulness, it's always hunger, it's always lust, it's always, catastrophilia, ISIS, MasterChef Australia, things like that. So have a plan. Execute an operation from next year onwards, not a resolution. New Year resolution, I have related this story. A young kid asked, Dada, what's a New Year resolution? And father says, son, it's humans, we keep it only for the first week of the year. That's a human resolution, No. So please sit down and think, what are we doing wrong? What needs to be done? I have children. Okay, most of people, they wait for retirement, wait for their children to go to university. Then what about the people who don't have children? Are they doing it right? So look at your present condition, work from that, this can be done. So that's why, you know, these three phases are very important. So name it, you know. If you have names for everything, you know, you say my house is being built, my house project is going, you name it, operation, maybe liberation. That's very important. Try to have a spiritual project going within you all the time, 24/7, that you don't have to show off. Okay? So this is stage. In doing this, what is the first objective? What is the first milestone in realization? Finding out whether there is a Achilles are there, nothing wrong about that. But with the first realization, what are we trying to do? When you say I am a stream enterer, when you are saying I am a stream winner, what does it mean? No doubt, yes. More importantly,
find the self.
yes, the wrong view of self is not there. So then Buddha gives, where do you find yourself? Where do you have that wrong view? Where should you be doing the self-inquiry? 4 places to look at yourself and find out whether there's a me, myself, I, my soul. There's 4 places. What is that? The first one, that you should pay attention to self-inquiry. You have to have an inquiring mind all the time with your body. What do you call that? Kayanu-passana. Be mindful of your body. Then Buddha is like a doctor. He dissects into these 6 levels. Find a person in, even when you are breathing, see whether there is a person in that. When you are walking, see whether there is a person in that. When you are maintaining sati sampajanya, mindful attention, wise attention, see whether there is a person in that. In the 4 elements, see whether there is a person in that. In 32 parts, see whether there is a person in that. Even when you are dead, when the body is decaying into 10 levels or 9 levels, see whether there is a person in that. Self-inquiry to find out whether there is a person. What is the second level of, what is the second place that you have a strong I? Me. Feelings. Obviously, when you start with Kaya-Nupassana, the next 3 levels will automatically come. Are you living a life with this kind of a self-inquiry? Trying to, yes. I'm not saying that. I'm doing this continuously, but don't get delayed, you know, because we sleep for 3 months a year. It's not good. Rest of the 225 days we have to be vigilant and we have to be doing this. Or like work may come, work may go, and there will be a time that we need to leave. So there should be a purpose you coming here. There should be a purpose you coming to a Sunday talk. For most of you, this is the only thing that you do your whole week. There won't be any other time for spiritual life. Okay? And you come here, even with that, if you are busy with something, you know, preparing, you know, not listening to Dhamma, doing some fundraising, you are not going to use this time wholesomely. So it's very important. For most of you, once a week, once a day, you do, those people who are not meditating, doing anything, weekly wise, there won't be time. So the idea is, plan it out, go home, take a piece of paper, write the 13th of December. Okay, 13th of December, forget about all other years. Write down all the good things that you have done for this year. How many things? Okay, every Sunday, BS Dana, good, plus. Other than that, okay, $50 to a monk. Other than that, okay, Atapirikara to another dana. Other than that, or release the cow in Sri Lanka. Other than that, how many? And look into category, where do I belong? Deva world. Deva world, not going there. beyond that suffering. Brahma world is completely out, sorry. So plan it out. See where you belong. See where you at this present moment. See the way out of this. That is my advice. Time is up. 10:25. Time for questions and answers. Do the self-inquiry, to find out whether that's the first milestone, Those who can come up with more than 10 good things for this year, if you are doing meditation, the page will be full, to be honest, because you are continuously maintaining that kusala citta. Yes. Any question and answers? How to plan your operational liberation? We can sit down and do something about it, but you have to wake up on time. You have to be mindful when you are going to the job, and you have to give up on some TV time. You have to put that into your timetable. Have a routine. Have a routine for meditation, and have another view, another self view. You have to have another ego at least, that you are a spiritual person until you realize something. That ego should be there. I am a being like this. I am a virtuous person. I keep to my precepts. I keep to my meditation. That amount should be there. Not to show off, but that ego should be built first. Then you can get out of that ego. Okay. So are we all hungry now? Yes? Okay. Okay, see you in the future, because I won't be meeting you before the new year. I wish you all a very happy new year. And I hope you will execute a plan for liberation. And I hope we will not see each other, as I always say, in samsara. Okay, all the very best. Okay? Abhivadana silissa niccang uddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayu vanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sakya sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samicchatu. By the way, when it comes to the mice, the name of the sutra is Musika Sutra. Sutta, it's in the Anguttara Nikaya, Chatukka Nipata Pali. Okay? The simile of the mice. Okay? Thank you.